I've been putting this off for like 2 weeks and now I cannot put it off anymore because this video needs to go live. So it's snowing outside. I feel cozy. I've got my reindeer socks. I've got my reindeer mug. I'm feeling all the holiday, new year, new me vibes. So we're gonna take advantage of that. I've been like procrastinating doing this because I've been feeling so overwhelmed, which is so stupid. The way I do my yearly reset is a serious business. Like, it involves so many things, so I got overwhelmed. But I made a list last night of everything I want to do in order so that I've got a plan. And we're starting today. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the photos on my phone as well as like my social media posts, stories, all of that, just so I can remember what I did, which trips I took, like just kind of the highlights of the year, because I have the worst memory ever. Like, if I don't write it down or take a picture, I will not remember. So yeah, I'm gonna look at the photos, go month by month, just write down like the trips that I went to, if there's anything like special I did that month. I feel like that will be like a good way to get a good overview of the year, and then all the like journaling prompts that I have scheduled will be so much easier because I'll actually know what I did. Because right now, like, the whole year is like a blur and I have just no idea what happened. Alrighty, I'm having some leftovers for lunch. Some udon with tofu and veggies and soy sauce. Very good. But I completed the like recap in my journal. I want to have it all on Notion just so it's super easily accessible, because I remembered I was making some like monthly recaps in one of my journals, but because I go between 2 countries all the time, I never know where things are. So I've decided I'll just have the whole recap on here. So I just made a new Notion page. I'm putting in the photos that kind of showcase like the highlights and the things that stand out about the month. And then when the new year rolls around, I want to start doing this monthly. Like, when I have my monthly reset, I want to go through all the photos and do like a recap on Notion. Does that make sense? I hope so. I wanted to show you guys the process of me making it, but I've realized that it's just full of pictures of people in my life that I'm sure don't want to be plastered on the internet. I just don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but this is kind of how it's looking like, you know, just like photos and then a little sentence of recapping what it was. It's really like nothing special in terms of the template. There's no template, like it's just me putting pictures in. But it's actually an amazing way to kind of do a recap, because you can just scroll through and you see like a glimpse of what your 2023 was like. So I'm really loving this idea. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm just about to start April. So this is taking a long time. Anyway, I'll go back to this and then we'll continue. It's already 2, which means we've got 2 more hours of daylight. Love winter. Oops. We've been up for way too long, but I don't wanna come down. Caught up in a long free fall, you got me. Okay, apologies if you can hear the washing machine. I am gonna start with Canva and then my downloads, because that is a whole disaster. Like, I feel like everything else is pretty under control, but that is a mess. So let me show you what we're dealing with, and then I'm gonna get started. Play some nice music or have some video in the background and just like try to enjoy this. So there's nothing on my desktop because I put it all into my downloads. I have like my documents pretty organized into folders. I need to kind of go through it and improve the system, but my downloads is the problem. Like, this just, it goes on and on and on, and like each section there's like at least 200 more, and it's like such a fucking disaster. It is the next day. I decided to spare you guys the many hours I've been doing this because it's so boring. But I wanted to show you the results because I'm all done now, thankfully. So now I can move on to like other more exciting parts of this reset. So yeah, basically, this is now how my desktop looks, all empty. And then my downloads, which was where all the chaos was. I now just have like my YouTube workflow folder, which I use all the time, and then some screenshots I honestly don't know what to do with. And then with my documents, I basically had a pretty good system before. I just like cleaned it up a little bit, added some folders just so it's more organized and it's easy for me to find everything. And then I also went through Canva and I deleted like all the designs I don't need anymore. I put it all into folders. I also went through all of my notes. So I organized that, put that into folders. Same with my email. My email is pretty organized already. Like I have a lot of folders just so whenever an email is completed, I put it into a folder so that it's not all in my inbox. So I just cleaned that up. I went through 2 months worth of photos on my iPhone. This is gonna take forever. I've gotten a whole other month to complete this, which I will do. The point of this was just for me to feel like clear-headed, like everything is organized and it's easier for me to work. Like I just have a nicer workflow. I know exactly where everything is. So it's just gonna make my life easier. Alrighty guys, please ignore literally everything about this whole frame. I was listening to Chris Stapleton all day. I'm in a yeehaw mood, so we're doing a flannel today. But I was just looking at my vision board from last year. I just found it. Let me show you. I feel like this just kind of represents obviously feeling fulfilled, but also like a nice balance, because this side is like, you know, a nice homey home, some activities and like a healthy lifestyle. Like this to me is very like peace and just enjoying life. I've got like relationships, kind of like mindfulness, friendship, and then like I love a good cabin in the Alps. I put that in there. And then this is more like work related. So yeah, the vision board really feels like accurate to how my life is now. The only thing I would say that's not super accurate is that I have some very like specific career like photos in there, and my career took kind of like a big shift unexpectedly this year. So like there's things on there that aren't really that accurate for me right now. But I feel very fulfilled in my work and I spend a lot of time working because I love it. So I feel like it's still kind of accurate. It's just the way that I'm working now, or what I'm working on, is a little bit different, if that makes sense. But I feel very balanced and fulfilled. Like looking at my vision board, I'm satisfied with the way my year went. But now I'm just ready to go a little deeper. So I'm gonna start with the journaling prompts that I have planned for myself. I shared these in the 2024 reset video that I did. I'll link it down below. It was just kind of like a strategic plan to have a new beginning. So some of the journaling prompts, for example, 2023 was the year that I ... What amplified my energy? What drained my energy? What is one action I kept repeating that was keeping me stuck? One thing I'm leaving behind in 2023? My grand lesson of the year? How did my life evolve? Like things like that. So I feel like that will just help me go a little bit deeper, and that all of these exercises really help you to then plan your new year way better. And you're like, I know exactly where I've been, and because of that I know where I want to go, or at least what my next steps are, and I plan to do a whole like 2024 plan in my next video. But for now, let's just finish off this reset. Who's to know what happens when the world ends? At least this is an okay bar for running into you. My energy has dropped a little bit. I had a bit of a cry. I need to get my period. But yeah, I've done the journaling prompts and I feel like I have a really good sense of my year, so I wanted to kind of chat to you guys about my year and like new lessons I've learned and like the good, the bad, you know, just have a bit of a chat about it, because I love listening to other people talk about their year and like the goals they've achieved and the ones they didn't and what they want in the future and all that. So we'll go through that, but I also have a little Notion board going. I just thought it would be nice to have everything in one place. So I'm gonna show you it really quickly. I mean, it's not done yet, it's a work in progress. So this is the page. I've got my vision board here. My word of the year was fulfilled, and I have to say I do feel very fulfilled. One thing that I realized when I was journaling is just that I've never felt so like content in just being who I am ever in my life. Like I feel so just at peace with who I am, and like just that quiet confidence, you know. I made a whole video about it, but I feel like it came out of nowhere. It obviously didn't. Like I've done a lot of work on myself, but I really feel like this year I was able to like reap the benefits of all the work that I've done, and so that's why it feels like it came out of nowhere. But I really feel like I used to fight so much, like who I am, and like trying to be better at things that just weren't for me, and like trying to find myself. And I will of course continue to do that. Like I'm only 25. I've got lots to figure out still about myself and what I want, and I'm sure I'll change and grow. But I've really like just felt so settled in myself, and I feel like I know myself really well, at least the person I am right now. And it's just so nice to feel that way. Like I've really never felt this much peace in my life, probably. So yeah, I feel very fulfilled, so that we can check that off. And then my goals for the year. So the first goal was to work out consistently. I used to just like have such a big issue with being inconsistent. Like I would start a workout routine or like a challenge, and I would do it for maybe a few weeks, and then I would fall off, or just a week, honestly. Like I just didn't have like a good routine, and I've realized now that it's because I tried to work out at home, and that's just not for me. Like I can do it every once in a while and it's fine, but I do not enjoy it. I hate it, and I hate like traditional like workouts. I just find them so boring. Like, oh my god, I could literally rip my brain out with how boring I find it. So I started going to a reformer Pilates class here in Denmark, and I love it so much that like working out is just so easy now, because I genuinely love that place so much. I love the studio, I love the workout, I love the instructor, the people there, like everything. And it gives me like a sense of community that I don't really have here because I'm not from here. And I also started running this year, which was another one of my goals, was to get into running and to run a 5K under 30 minutes, which I was able to accomplish. So we can tick both of those. I also wanted to read 30 books. I'm at like 42 right now, so I've definitely done that. This is where it gets not so great. I wanted to save 15K this year, which I did not do. I did save a little bit, but like not nearly enough. I was just overspending so much this year. Like, I mean, I did take a lot of trips, and that obviously costs a lot of money, which I have my trips right here, all of them. And I also wrote down like how much time I spent in Aarhus, because I just wanted to know. It kind of gave you like a good idea of what my year looked like. But yeah, I did not save. Like it wasn't my priority this year. It should have been, but it wasn't. I overspent. I didn't really follow my budget very well. I started again in September, and I've been really good since, but yeah. Also my career shifted quite a lot. I was working mostly for 2 companies, doing like social media for them, and then I was kind of not really doing my own social media consistently. I kind of took a step back just because I wasn't like super passionate about what I was doing. I was just kind of filming vlogs in my life, and I just never felt super fulfilled with that, so it was hard for me to be consistent. So I kind of thought that would be the journey for me, and then something happened that really was out of my control, where that kind of fell apart. So a lot of my work shifted totally. So then I started YouTube again, like very consistently, and I finally like feel like I really found what I love to do so much, and I could literally post a video every day if I had the time, because I just love it so much and I have so many things to talk about. So yeah, that's why some of these goals just didn't come true, because my year turned out to be very different than what I thought, especially with my career, and that obviously impacted my finances until I found my footing. So we didn't do that. I also wanted to learn social media ads. That would be for the company that I worked for. That was all out the window, and I'm so glad it was, by the way. Like, it was pretty hard for me. Like, in the moment it affected me quite a bit, and like I felt a little unsettled and like, oh, what am I gonna do now? And now looking back, it's like the best thing that could have happened, and I wouldn't probably be doing much of this if I was still working for them. So just all worked out perfectly. But yeah, I did not learn social media ads, and I'm glad I didn't, because I don't care about it at all. I also did not get serious about TikTok, because I just love YouTube. Like, YouTube is my go-to, and I like Instagram. I like kind of sharing my life with you guys, especially stories, but maybe I'll get into it at some point, but it's really not a goal of mine, and it wasn't a priority this year, and again, I'm glad it wasn't. And then this is such a random goal. It's more of a habit, a bad habit I wanted to break, but I wanted to stop working from my bed, because I used to literally lay in bed and like work on my computer like this, and like everything hurt. I stopped doing that, so we can cross that off. I do, however, work from the couch a lot, which is not that much better, but you know, we did it. Then I have a section here which is new, like new things I did, new experiences, just anything new and exciting. So far, I'll definitely add to this, but I have, like, I saw Northern Lights for the first time, I went sailing for the first time, I started running consistently, and I'll add more. And then I've got like new countries I visited, and then here I'll just add like the books I've read and like kind of list them in the order of how much I like them. Fourth Wing is definitely going to be on top because I was so obsessed with that book. And then a business overview. This is just where I wrote down like what I accomplished in terms of my career. It's kind of like analytics and how much money I made, stuff like that. I just wanted to have it all in one place. And that leads us to the journaling prompts. So I just made it into like a simple toggle list, so when you expand it you can see the answer. I don't know why, just made sense. This has honestly been such a nice experience. Like, I've done these almost every single year for the last few years, but this year I really went all out, and it feels so good just to kind of see like all the challenges and all the like trials and tribulations. Like, at least to me, all of mine felt like they were worth it because I either learned from them and I know exactly what I learned from them, or they led to something so much better. Like, in terms of my career, that was like such a huge thing for me this year. There's still a lot to learn, but I'm really grateful for all the people in my life. Like, my relationship is the best it's ever been. I feel so grateful and happy, and I'm just so excited to plan my next year now that I know everything I've gone through and learned and what I liked and didn't like about the year. Like, it makes the planning portion so much better and easier and more authentic, because a lot of the time you can like plan your goals, and without doing things like this at first, like this reflection period, they can be a little shallow, or just goals that when you complete them you're just like, okay, I didn't actually care about that. Or like, you write down all these goals and then 3 weeks later you're like, why did I want to do this? Like, this doesn't feel really true to me at all, you know? Like, that's definitely happened to me before, and this just like really prevents that from happening, because everything feels so true and like genuine because I've done the work. And I'm really excited to plan and like schedule all my goals and like habits that I want to focus on, and like make my vision board and all of that. And I'll do that in my next video, which is going to be like planned for 2024 with me. I'm really excited for everything that's to come. I'm feeling really, really good and like grateful, even for all the challenges and all the not so easy things. And that's always such a nice feeling. It feels like closure, and like I'm ready to move on to bigger and better things. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe got some ideas of what you can do for your reset, and I can't wait to see you in my next video, which is gonna be the plan. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!